What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. So the 2019 Dallas Cowboys schedule has dropped, and if you are a subscriber of Dallas Cowboys Scouting, you had it about 6 hours before it released to the entire world. Shout out to my scout who was able to hook us up with that. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do with this 2019 schedule. So I know, just looking at it offset, right when you first seen it, I already know a couple of y'all was tripping. Like, oh my God, West Coast. We don't have any back-to-back home games at all, West Coast. It's going to be actually a time where we going to play away, home, away, home, away, home, West Coast. I'm a little nervous about this schedule, West Coast. Now, let me put any nervousness to rest. West Coast is never scared. But I will tell you this. Looking at this schedule, the Dallas Cowboys will have to be extremely focused. We're going to have to be extremely motivated, and we are going to have to execute to get through this gauntlet of a schedule. Now, just looking at offensively, the Dallas Cowboys defense, we're going to face the three best quarterbacks in all the NFL as of right now, and that is Brady, Brees, and Rodgers. Now, two of those guys, we're actually going to play them at their mama house. So we're going to put our feet up on their couch. On defense, it doesn't get much easier. Why? Because the Dallas Cowboys this year, we're going to play arguably probably two of the best defensive players in all of football in Donald and Khail Mack. So the Dallas Cowboys are definitely going to have to execute. We're definitely going to have to be motivated, and we're definitely going to have to be focused to get through this season. But I 100% believe that we can do it. Now let's jump right into the schedule. Week 1, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be facing the New York Football Giants. As always, actually, 5 out of the last 6 years, we've actually started our first home game off against the New York Football Giants. So that's not something that's that big of a surprise. But one thing I do like about the New York Football Giants and us playing them is they're technically in a rebuild situation. So this is going to be a totally different team that we faced them week 1. But also, we have some good news. Dak Prescott was pretty darn good against the NFC East last year. Actually, he was 5-1, averaging 306 yards per game, with 68% of his passes completed, 12 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a whopping 107% QBR. Now, I totally believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to win that first game against the New York Football Giants, and then we're going to take our show on the road to the Washington Redskins, who, you guys remember last year, they did give us a little bit of a time in the beginning of the season, gave us a little hard problem. Ezekiel Elliott had, I think, under 3.5 yards per attempt last year when we played them at home that time. But you also got to remember, we went in there with a half-tag raggedy offensive line, a bunch of guys who had only played maybe 2 to 3 games together, and Travis Frederick was not on that team. So I definitely believe with Travis Frederick being on that team, a new offensive line, and a new Amari Cooper, a weapon that we didn't take to Washington last year, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a way better outcome when we go to Washington this year. So I'm giving us a dub on that one too. Then we come home to face the Miami Dolphins. Come on, y'all. It's the Miami Dolphins. We're getting that dub. So the first question mark of the season, I'm not going to say loss because, here at Dallas Cowboys Scouting, we don't predict anything negative on our team without them putting a helmet and shoulder pads on first. So, look, my first question mark of the season, honestly, is going to be that New Orleans Saints game. Why? Because you're playing an elite quarterback at home in New Orleans, and I'm going to be honest with you, New Orleans, I feel, is going to be ready and prepared for that game. Can the Dallas Cowboys win? Absolutely. Why? Because they came to Dallas last year, and we put that thing on their butt. So I have all faith that the Dallas Cowboys can go to New Orleans, especially if we're rolling on a 3-game winning streak and 2 games ahead in our division, because we will have already beaten the Giants and Washington. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a really good chance of going into New Orleans and winning that game. They play in a very, very aggressive and hard division. So let's not automatically assume that the Saints are just going to come out shooting and bamming, considering that they got to play Carolina and Atlanta in their division. We have the Green Bay Packers. And shout out to my boy Marcus Marsha. You should be able to see the stats below. But you can see that Dak Prescott has actually played fairly good against Green Bay. Just haven't been able to get the win in those final moments. I think the Dallas Cowboys in 2019, with the addition of these great players that we have on our team, and you got to remember, they are now older playing Aaron Rodgers too. So I think with those encompassed, I think the Dallas Cowboys will be able to squeak a win out against the Green Bay Packers. And if you look at them, they have not been the same team over the last 3 years. Next, we have Le'Veon Bell and the New York Jets. Now, if you play fantasy football, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of running. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good game. But at the end of the day, come on now. The Jets and their green uniforms are all in a rebuild. But, yeah, we're going to get a dub in that game. Next week, the week 7, we're going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, before I even talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, let me tell you guys a little fact that nobody knows, or nobody even pays attention to it. I even call it a petty stat, but it's real. The Philadelphia Eagles have never beat the Dallas Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott in the lineup, in the starting lineup. It's 2 teams Ezekiel Elliott never loses to. That is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Michigan Wolverines. He just doesn't do it. It's not in it. So, I'm going to be honest with you, come week 7, that tradition is going to continue, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to get their first win of the year over the Philadelphia Eagles. Next week, it's going to be a week 8, which is going to be our bye week. Everybody's going to go hang out for a little bit. No coaches are going to get fired. Why? Because at worst, we'll be 6-1. All right. After that, you have week 9. You got the New York Football Giants. Come on now. We're getting a dub that week. After that, week 10, Minnesota Vikings. You have Kirk Cousins coming in. I'm going to be honest with you. Currently, right now, the Dallas Cowboys are 5-1 against Kirk Cousins. And Dak Prescott is 4-0 against Kirk Cousins. So guess what? Why did they pay him $86 million? I have no clue. But guess what? Again, he's losing to Dak Prescott. So Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings will be losing to Dak Prescott on week 10. So I'm going to give that a win. Detroit Lions, we've played them a few times now. Twice in the last, I think since 2014. Might even 3 times. And if I'm not mistaken, we beat them all 3 times. So I have all faith that the Dallas Cowboys are going to continue that streak against the Detroit Lions, and we'll be able to get a win there. Now, week 12, I'll be honest with you guys, here comes another question mark. You got Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, week 12 through week 16 is going to be the make or break for the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because you have the New England Patriots at home, then you come home to the Buffalo Bills for Thanksgiving in the sauce. Oh yeah, we already know we're going to make it real hot sauce for Cole Beasley that game. Then you go on the road on that Thursday to play the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The Chicago Bears, they're the only team in the NFL that has an all-pro on all 3 levels of their defense. They have an all-pro on their defensive line, they have an all-pro linebacker, and they have an all-pro in their secondary. So that's going to be a doozy. And I can almost guarantee you there will be snow on the ground. So, if y'all asking if West Coast going to be at that game, most likely not, because West Coast and snow don't do well. But I'm going to be honest with you, this is going to be a game where the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to run the ball. And if you notice, both between weeks 12 through 16, I have 2 question marks. And both of those question marks are on away games. Why? Because I feel that the Dallas Cowboys are going to solidify themselves going into the playoffs, winning some huge road games. So, weeks 12, I got a question mark for the Patriots game. Week 13, I got a dub against the Sauce. Week 14 against the Bears, I'm going to be honest with you, I do have a question mark. Week 16 against the Philadelphia Eagles, guess what? That streak's going to keep on going. Philadelphia Eagles have not and will not in 2019 be the Dallas Cowboy team led by Ezekiel Elliott. And then in week 17, we're going to be coasting, getting ready for the playoffs, but we're not going to make that same mistake we did in 2016. Everybody's going to play in a meaningless game. We're going to win it and get ready for the playoffs. Hey, as of right now, I see my Dallas Cowboys going 13 and 3 question marks. I'm your boy West Coast. You already know what it is. Never look down because the star's up. Peace.